Welcome to Lesson 10 Grade 6s. Today we're looking at capacity and volume. Here are the usual reminders. Please pause the video and read through them. Let us begin by looking at the difference between capacity and volume. Have a look at this glass over here. This glass is holding a little bit of water. This glass with a little bit of water contains a small volume of water and has a large capacity to hold more water. However, more water can be added to increase its volume. This glass of water has a lot of water inside it and is almost full right to the top. This glass with more water contains a big volume of water and has a little capacity to hold more water. The volume of water that a glass can hold when it is full to the brim is called its capacity. When we measure liquid, we use units of measurement such as milliliters. We use a small m and a small l to represent milliliter. Milli means small. We use an L for liter. A liter is bigger than a milliliter. Then bigger than liters are kiloliters. Kiloliters are denoted by a K and an L together. 1000 milliliters is the same as 1 liter, and 1000 liters is the same as a kiloliter. Now let's see how these three conversions relate to each other. If we look at 1 kiloliter, you will see it's exactly the same as 1000 liters, and 1000 liters is exactly the same as and equal to 1 million milliliters. Now here is a picture of items that all hold liquid. Please pause the video and decide which unit of measurement you are going to use to measure the liquid within each of these liquid containing items. Right, the next thing we're going to do is look at how to read measuring jugs correctly. You will notice that when you pour water into a cylinder or a jug, there is a curve in the surface of the water. That is called a meniscus. You will notice the correct way to record the measurement of water is being at the same level as the meniscus. If your eye level is higher than the meniscus, your reading will be inaccurate because it will appear higher, and if your eye level is lower, it will appear as though there is less water or liquid within the cylinder. So it's very important that your eye is the same level as your meniscus. We're now going to look at counting in halves on a jug or a cylinder or on any instrument that allows us to measure liquid. If you have a look at this line over here, this is what you would typically see on a measuring jug or a measuring cylinder. On this line, it begins with 200 and it ends at 300. So between 200 and 300, there is 100 milliliters. Halfway between 200 and 300 milliliters, there is a marking exactly halfway between the two. Now, if we take 100 milliliters, there it is over there, and we divide it by these two spaces, we are going to get 50 milliliters per space. So this space over here represents 50 milliliters. Therefore, this measurement here is going to be 250 milliliters. Plus another 50 will give us 300 milliliters. We're now going to do exactly the same thing, except in quarters. You know, quarters are 4 equal pieces. So again, we begin our number line with 200 mils. And it ends at 300 mils. Between 200 and 300, we have 100 mils. And notice that there are 4 spaces between 200 and 300. So if there's 100 mils and there are 4 spaces in between 200 and 300, we divide the 100 mils by the 4 spaces and we get 25 mils. So each space is representing 25 mils. So we are adding 25 each time. 200 mils plus 25, 225 mils. Plus 25, 250, plus 25, 275, plus 25, 300 mils. Now we're going to do again the same thing, but this time we're going to be counting in fifths. Our number line again starts with 200 mils and it ends with 300. That means there's 100 mils between 200 and 300. Except this time we count the spaces in between 200 and 300, and there are 5. We then take the 100 mils between 200 and 300 and we divide it by the 5 spaces. 100 mils divided by 5 spaces gives us 20 mils per space. So each space is representing 20 mils. So if we have to add 20 mils each time, 200 mils plus 20, 220, 240, 260, 280, 300 mils. And the last one we're going to be looking at is counting in tenths. Again, we're looking at 200 and 300 mils on our jug. Except this time, we have 10 spaces in between 200 and 300 mils. To find out how much each space is worth, we take the 100 mils in between 200 and 300 and we divide it by the 10 spaces that there are. That gives us an answer of 10 mils per space. So we are adding 10 mils per time. 200 mils plus 10 is 210. Plus 10, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, and 300 mils. Right, you are now going to practice what you have just learnt. You are going to do activity 1. What are the readings on these cylinders? You are going to answer in milliliters. Please pause the video and answer question 1 to 8. Press play when you are ready to mark. Activity 1 corrections are as follows. Please correct your work and give yourself a mark out of 8. Right, activity 2, you're doing the same thing. What are the readings on these cylinders? Answer in milliliters. Pause the video, answer A, B, C, and D, and press play when you are ready to mark. Activity 2 corrections are as follows. Please give yourself a mark out of 4 after you've marked. Right, and activity 3, again, what are the readings on these cylinders? Answer in milliliters. Press pause, answer cylinders 1 through 10, and press play when you are ready to mark. Activity 3 corrections are as follows. Please give yourself a mark out of 10. Right, the next thing you're going to do is activity 4. Let's look at question 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, convert the following to liters. Copy and complete the question. So, questions A to F, you're given a variety of different capacities and you need to convert it to liters only. Number 2, convert the following to milliliters. Copy and complete the question. Again, A to F, you're given a variety of different capacities and you need to convert them to milliliters only. And number 3, convert the following to kiloliters. Copy and complete the question. A to F, you're given a variety of other units of measurements and you need to convert it to kiloliters only. For activity 4, you are welcome to use decimals or fractions in your answer, provided that your unit of measurement is exactly the same. And please make sure you put a unit of measurement into your answer, otherwise you will only get half a mark. Please pause the video and press play when you are ready to mark. Activity 4 corrections are as follows. Please tick your work, fix what is wrong, and give yourself a mark out of 18. Right, that brings us to our GDE homework. I'd like you to please complete, when you have a chance, page 160, 161, 164, 166 and 167. There's a change I'd like you to make, please, on page 167, question 9. Please change the second blue block from 2 liters to 2 kiloliters, and it should read 2 kiloliter tank of a fire engine. The following slides will be your GDE corrections for once you have completed your pages. That's term 2 math completed, grade 6s. Look after yourselves and I will see you again soon.